planet or large body, large mass in our solar system, Planet X, as it's sometimes called. And this is what turned me on to reach out to you here and invite you, because you did a fantastic interview with another broadcaster about Planet X. And as you believe, the United States government has known for decades that there will
41
be
years.
41 years, that there would be asteroids, meteors striking the Earth, and maybe other dramatic effects caused by this planet passing through the Earth orbit of our solar system. So how about a brief intro on that?
There's something called the word synchronicity, Mike. And it was late winter, early spring of 2000, 20 years ago. Synchronicity kicked in over a period of about 6 months. First, I was approached by two friends. They were independent researchers. One didn't know the other was going to approach me. And they started telling me about these events that would happen in the future. 200-mile-an-hour winds for a day, really big rocks hitting the Earth, massive worldwide flooding, at least 3 9-point-plus earthquakes on a new magnitude seismic zone. I listened patiently, and I thought I didn't say anything to these guys, but I thought, man, you guys need tinfoil hats really bad. But I listened to them. So I took that information, went to a friend of mine who's an outside vendor for several lettered agencies, and I said, this is what I found out. And he says, John, I never heard of this, but out of respect for you, I'll check it out and get back with you. So he gets back with me about a month later. He tells me, yes, it is real. And the government found out about it, they verified it. They've been wondering about this thing since about 1900. They noticed what's called perturbations in the outer planets, Pluto and Uranus and so forth, when they got to a certain point in their orbit around the sun. And they sent the Pioneer 10 space probe looking for this thing, and they found it in 1979. And they've been observing it and tracking it ever since. Now, another part of the synchronicity is the fact that I teach Missouri concealed carry training, so people can get permits to carry concealed pistols in Missouri. And I also have a lot of friends. Over the decades, I've developed a lot of friends. One of them, at the time, in the summer of 2000, was a college professor. And before that, I had lunch with a buddy of mine, a buddy I served with in Special Forces, who was also a Navy SEAL. And during that conversation, I was telling him about the effects of Planet X that I was learning about. Then spontaneously, he mentions a classified briefing it was in 1985. And he was told at that briefing the following: gentlemen, during your lifetimes, these oceans will come out of their basins, flooding all coastal areas worldwide. And when it comes time to retire from the Navy, you just might want to retire to one of the known safe havens, the Arkansas, Missouri Ozarks, because of the rising ocean levels. They were also told that the country would be split in two, north-south, at the Mississippi River Valley, and that the weight of the water would generate 3 9-point-plus earthquakes in a new magnitude seismic zone. It was only about 3 or 4 weeks later, a college professor friend of mine asked me to do a presentation at a geopolitical class, college class. I agreed to do so. He didn't tell me there'd be another presenter there. The other presenter was a retired intelligence officer from one of the services. I won't reveal which one. I need to protect his identity. So after the presentation, we go to a pizza place in Rolla, Missouri. It's a 4-top table. The intelligence officer is directly across from me. His wife's next to me. My friend, a college professor, across from me. I found out during our dinner that he did a 3-year tour of duty with us in the U.S. Submarine Corps. So I knew I had to ask the question. I never met this guy before, may never see him again. Tell me what you know about rising ocean levels. Before he can speak up, his wife sitting next to me speaks up. She says, John, we're at our last duty assignment at the Pentagon. We're getting ready to retire. We need to pick a place to retire. We picked the Arkansas, Missouri Ozarks because of rising ocean levels. I immediately made an appointment to meet him at the Steak and Shake restaurant the following week. And he made the second revisions on the map that I began with my buddy. Synchronicity kicked in again. Only about 3 or 4 weeks later, I decided to start asking all my pistol students who was a veteran. Well, it turned out this next pistol class, I had a retired submarine officer. Same thing. He was at the classified briefing. He made the third and final revisions on a map that's at my website at thelibertyman.com. And by the way, people need to put that in their browser, not in a search engine, because you'll end up 20 different places if you put it in a search engine.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to remind our producer, put that map on screen. There's a map of the United States, split down the middle. The oceans covering a lot of coastal areas. Florida is gone in that map. Put that map on screen, and then also, yeah, to the listeners, you got to type in. People need to remember how to use browsers. You type in thelibertyman.com in the URL on top. Everybody keeps going through Google and Facebook. They think that's the internet. That's not the internet.
No,
That's
no.
that's
And